moving to a foreign country is a big decision. And I remember when I came to Southeast Asia, it was through my job. It was not necessarily because I wanted to permanently move to Thailand, Philippines, or Indonesia or Vietnam. It was due to my job. I was working as a chef at the time. I had a great opportunity to travel, so I took advantage of it. And the very first time I came to Southeast Asia, I told the stories in other videos, I actually hated it, because of the weather, the climate, the food, the humidity. But eventually I started to like it. I liked everything. I liked the women, the dating, the nature, the food, the people, everything, the lifestyle, the lower cost of living. And at the time I was earning US dollars, so that was even better for me than working in Germany, for example. And maybe you're asking yourself the same questions, or maybe you have these plans to leave everything behind, to start all over, to start new in a different country, yeah. And you will have your own reasons, yeah. Maybe you are divorced. Maybe you are fed up with the dating life in your, let's say, Western country. Yeah, maybe you have financial reasons. You just want to try out a different lifestyle. Maybe you are fed up with this Western lifestyle, Maybe you hate cold. Maybe you don't like winters. Like me, I hate winters. I hate cold temperatures. Or maybe it's just a combination of these things. You will have your reasons if you are thinking of moving abroad. And since I am in Southeast Asia, maybe you are one of these guys who are also considering moving permanently to Southeast Asia. And this is the topic of today's video. I want to talk about the mindset you would need, the personality you would need in order to succeed in Southeast Asia, because you don't want to just come here and then fail and then move back, So this is what I want to talk about today. If you are a guy who is eyeing Southeast Asia, be it Thailand, Vietnam, Indonesia, or the Philippines, and there are some other countries here, Cambodia. By the way, if you want to move to the Philippines, or you're planning on retiring in the Philippines, then I can recommend a website to you, a visa service which is called Filipino Visa, and they are assisting with retiring in the Philippines. So if you are especially focused on the Philippines, then I can highly recommend that site. They help out with consultations, They also help you with dealing with the agencies, the local agencies there, They help with flight and hotel bookings if you need that, They also offer other travel and immigration services, other consultations, other consulting services in regards to your visa application process if you would need assistance with that. So I would suggest you check out their website. The link is in the description, and then you can see for yourself what kind of services they offer. They offer plenty of really good services, but this applies to the Philippines. So now, a few days ago, I had a very interesting consultation call with a gentleman from the United States, and I do offer consultations, so if you're interested, just drop me an email. Also, the email you can find in the description. And this gentleman is 59 years old, and he is interested to move to Southeast Asia. In his particular case, he is interested to move, not to move, but to check out Indonesia. And by the way, all what I'm saying here more or less applies to all these Southeast Asian destinations. This video is not about a specific country so much, it is more about the region, you know, because these countries are similar, yeah, in many regards. It's about the region, but also about the general mindset and things you would need to be successful in these countries, to live a good life, a happy life, you know, stuff like that. So this gentleman, 59 years old, he is about to retire in a couple of years, I believe, and he is also now searching for different locations outside of the United States. Yeah, and we discussed a few things. He asked me some questions, you know, but I could see already that he was very strategic in his thinking and in his preparation, you know. He is not a guy who is like rushing into things, and this is the first important advice I would like to give you here. If you really consider to move, to make this big move, because it's gonna be a big move, you know. I'm pretty sure this guy I was talking to, he asked himself, what do I want actually? And this is the question you have to ask yourself as well. What do you want? Where do you want to live? And you want to do research. Yeah? You need to do a lot of research. Because, I don't know, you have different preferences, you know. Maybe you prefer big cities, maybe not. Maybe you want to live in the province, you know. Maybe you prefer nature over a polluted city in Asia, and Asian cities are big. Southeast Asian cities are huge. 10 million, 15 million, 20 million inhabitants, depending on the city. A lot of crazy noise, traffic and pollution. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't. Maybe you want to start a business, so then you need to consider the larger cities, right? Maybe you are just retiring. Maybe you have a bunch of money. Maybe you prefer the province, you love nature. Then what about dating? I'm pretty sure the majority of guys also travel to Southeast Asia, I want to set it permanently, because of the women, you know, because they have greater chances to meet feminine, gorgeous, good girls, you know. So these kind of things you want to consider. You have to ask yourself these questions. You want to figure them out before you travel. And then what this gentleman from America, I had the consultation with, is doing in a very short time. He will travel to Indonesia. He just asked me what places I suggest for a newbie. So I told him, you know, a few places he should check out. And this is what you should also do. You should test and travel first, you know, to get a vibe for the country and the people and the culture and the food and the climate, you know. This is what I strongly advise, because you can watch videos all day long about the Philippines and Thailand and Indonesia or other countries. And there is some good advice out there. I'm also doing these videos to advise you, but boots on the ground is one of the most important rules. Yeah? You want to visit these countries, travel physically there to get a vibe, to get a feeling. Maybe you don't like it at all, no problem, then you move on to the next country. Yeah? This is what the whole exercise is about, you know. You want to take your time, right? You want to take your time, because this is a very important step. You don't want to rush things, right? Due diligence you need to do, and also you want to consult, yeah, with other guys who are living there already for a long time, who can give you plenty of tips. You know, don't just move there. And again, as I said already, don't fall into this trap of paralysis analysis, you know, watching too many YouTube videos, reading too many blog posts, seeking too much advice, you know, because that can kind of really paralyze you. There's a lot of theory also. Theory is good, but you need to go there for yourself, you know. You need to travel to Indonesia, you need to travel to Thailand or the Philippines, and boots on the ground, get a feeling for the country. Maybe you don't like the heat, maybe you can stand it, so you know already, it's not for me. Maybe you go to some other country, you know. And then the second thing this American guy did, hear this from our conversation is that he was planning already. Yeah, he was organizing his stuff already with regards to his future move. You know, he has 2 daughters, which are, I believe, in college, high school, college, that kind of stuff. So now, and he's divorced. Yeah, he has a house. He's going to sell the house. He's setting up his daughters now, and then he is just waiting to receive his social security in about 2 or 3 years, and then he's basically ready to go. You see, he's not moving tomorrow, but now he started to plan already, you know. And as you guys say in America, you put all your ducks in a row. And this is what it is. The expression actually is very smart and intelligent. This is what you do. He's putting his ducks in his row. Yeah. And this is what you need to consider. I don't need to tell you, but you know, do you have a house? You might want to sell it. You know, your social security check, because you need income in these countries. I don't want to go into the financials here so much, but you need income. You need a stable, regular income. This gentleman told me that his social security check will be around $2,200 US dollars, which is, I believe, sufficient to live a good life in Indonesia, you know, or in any of these countries, you know. You need income. This is very important. Either you have a job, you work in these countries, or you have social security income, or you have investment income, or you have passive income. I don't care, but you need income. You need to support yourself. I think that's a no-brainer. You need to have a budget also. You need to plan. You need to know how much you can afford. I mean, what's your income, you know? What is your lifestyle? You have to look at it. Do you want to live a simple, humble, modest life, or you require luxury? You know, if you need luxury, of course it's gonna be expensive also in Indonesia or in Thailand or in the Philippines. There is no limits, you know. But I think that's not the point to move to these countries to live a luxury life. Then you can stay in Miami or New York. You want to get out of the Western world because it's getting too expensive. There's no more value for money, but you can still find this in Southeast Asia. There's a great value for money. And yeah, you need to look at your income and then budget accordingly. You need to be financially savvy in one way or the other. Yeah. Because you most likely heard about these horror stories coming out of especially the Philippines and Thailand, of Western guys who went there and they lost everything. They are broke now, some of them living on the streets. Why is that? I mean, how can that happen? Poor planning maybe, poor decision making maybe, you know, maybe both. Maybe there's even more into it. But you don't want to end up like these guys, you know. That's not the point of moving your entire life over to one of these countries and then you're messing it up completely, you know. So you need to think about this. You need to plan properly. You need to organize, you know. This is what you need to do. Due diligence, you know, bootstrapping yourself. And then also what you need to consider, and I hope you consider this, is that you hopefully know, and I hope you know, that you are moving to a different country and a different culture. Yeah. It's not like it's not like moving from California to Texas or from Texas to Ohio. This is still one country, even though it's a huge country, the United States, you know. You're moving from the Western world into the Asian world, a completely different paradigm, a completely different culture, different language. They don't speak English in Indonesia so much. In the Philippines, yes, so it's convenient for the English-speaking guys, you know. That's why many men move to the Philippines, you know. So this is one requirement maybe you have, easy language thing, you know. But also in Southeast Asia and these countries, there are different costumes, you know. Different religion, Islam or maybe Buddhism, you know. I hope you know that if you don't know, then I tell you, you need a lot of patience also, you know. Clocks are ticking differently in these countries, completely. There's a completely different mindset, yeah. Thai people, Filipino people, Indonesian people, Vietnam people, they have in part completely different values, yeah. And they also think differently, yeah. We Western guys, I know, we are more on the rational side, you know, more analytic. Everything is quick thinking, quick solution finding. Everything needs to be planned out, organized, you know, solution oriented, you know. Long-term thinking frame, that's what we have. Forget about all this when you come to Southeast Asia. It doesn't matter, it is Indonesia, the Philippines, Thailand or Vietnam, yeah, or Cambodia, Malaysia. People here, they think differently. It's a topic for another video because this is very interesting and fascinating. It's still making me wonder every day sometimes, you know, how these people think, how do they manage, how do they find solution to their problems and stuff, you know. One thing I can tell you, they are not as structured in their thinking as we are. Still, they manage their life though, but it can get very frustrating, and I can assure you of that. Even though you're just coming as a retiree, it can get frustrating at times. And I know what I'm talking about. And I was working in these countries, you know, not just living there, doing my thing. I was working with these people. And when you have to work on a day-to-day basis with these people, with their different mindset, their different approach to thinking, and their different mental structure, then you will hit your limits pretty quickly, which is what I did, you know. And my mentality is also, you know, I used to be more hot temper, low patience kind of guy. I'm from Germany, you know, I'm a Western guy, and then you know these Germans, you know, everything needs to be organized and planned and structured, and the time, you know, and 7:30 is 7:30 and not 7:31, you know, and all this kind of stuff, you know. And I had big problems, especially in the beginning, be it in Hong Kong, working with the Hong Kong Chinese, or be it Indonesia, when I worked in Indonesia, or in Malaysia. I had really, I struggled a lot, you know. So this is what you need to know. I think the key word here is expectation management, you know. I suggest to you, don't expect too much when you travel to these countries. Do your research about these things I'm telling you here. Yeah, also about the location, but also especially about the mindset and psychology. But a great deal really depends on you if you want to succeed in these countries. You have to adopt. You have to learn to adopt. You have to learn to adopt your mindset, yeah, your expectation. You have to manage your expectation. You have to manage your some of the things you have learned throughout your life or are used to do. You can throw overboard right away. Yeah. Another important point is also, it's not only expectation management, it's also ego management. This is very important. I discussed this in one of my previous videos. And here I want to mention especially this entitlement attitude some Western men have when they travel to Southeast Asia. Some men have this entitlement attitude already prior of arriving there, and some develop it while inside the country. I was one of these guys, but you know, I was 28 when I was 27 when I traveled the first time to Southeast Asia, but I was 28 when I basically settled there because I had a job. I worked there, I lived there. You know, I was a young guy. I was 28, not 58 or 68. You know, when you're 28, you have different energies going on, right? But I also had some other issues at the time. So I kind of also felt entitled, you know. What do I mean by that? It's like, you know, you think you are something special because you have white skin and you're coming from a Western country, you think you have a good education and you're qualified, that's why they hire you, you're something special, you're a specialist, they pay good salary, you live in a full serviced apartment which the company pays, they pay you everything, you know. They pay electricity, water, they pay relocation fees, you know, you get free health insurance. So, you know, it kind of boosts your ego. And if you are not mature enough to integrate this experience properly, you can display kind of a rock star behavior, you know, flying away, thinking you are something greater, better than other people. And then you start to behave that way also. You become arrogant, you start to shout at people, in my case at my employees, you know, and then you automatically start to also expect certain things, you know, and then you start to develop this entitlement attitude, you know, like, I'm the guy, I'm the big guy, and who are you? And you have to follow me, and you have to do what I say. And also regarding the women, you know, I mean, I shared this in a different story, but you know, when you just hang out in bars and get used to this typical scene, once you enter the bar, the girls come flocking to you and you are suddenly the center of attention, and they give you all your attention, then you also start to get a distorted perception, completely illusory and unrealistic. And I started to think I'm really a rock star and the girls like me, you know. And then later, even years later, when I was not even in the bars anymore, but I was walking down the streets in the Philippines or in Thailand maybe, you know, I was thinking, hey, what's going on? Where are the girls? Why they're not coming to me asking for my number? Why they're not coming to me giving me compliments, you know? So you see, this in hindsight, it's completely crazy to think that I was thinking that way, but I had this entitlement attitude, which is toxic, and this will lead to failure in Southeast Asia. Yeah, because if you feel you are entitled, basically you have a lot of expectation and wrong expectation. You need to manage them, you know. So this is one thing I want to warn you about, yeah. And it is easy to fall into this entitlement trap. No, you are not something better or something special. Yes, it's true that in many of these countries you are a hot commodity, but don't think you are a rock star or something super special, okay? Because it will reflect in your attitude and in the way you treat the people. And if you are an arrogant idiot and behave in the same way, then people will not like you anyway. They will despise of you, you know? So you lost. You are a guest in these countries, don't forget. Yeah, very important. You are not Tom Cruise or, I don't know, James Dean, although he's dead. You are a guest. You are a nobody. You are someone with a German passport, a French passport, or an American passport. That's it. You are a guest, and you should also behave accordingly as you would do as if you would be invited as a guest to somebody's home. And you need to adopt. You need to be very flexible. And you want to be interested also in this country, not only into the girls and this and sex and stuff, you know. Otherwise you will just remain a sex tourist. Even you live there permanently, you're going to be a long-term sex tourist. I don't know if this is what you really want or envision for yourself. I don't know. So I hope you are also interested in the country and its culture, you know, to learn about the culture, to adopt, to integrate, you know. And another thing I want to mention, when you want to make this big move, and by the way, if you want to make it, then congratulations, because not many people can do this. They are not ready for it. Another big thing to consider is to do not forget your common sense at home. You have to bring your common sense to these countries. You will need it. Don't do things also you wouldn't do in your home country. Yeah, this refers to money issues, dating issues, financial issues, safety issues, behavioral issues, you know. Don't do stupid things you wouldn't do in your home country. Yeah? If you live in New York and if you live in, if you live in Chicago, for example, would you at 3 a.m. in the morning go outside on the streets or walk through some dark alley in Chicago at 3 a.m. in the morning? I don't think so. So why would you do it in the Philippines or Indonesia, in Jakarta or Bali? Even though these countries are basically very safe, but don't risk anything stupid, right? You wouldn't do it. If you go on a date in Canada or in Italy, and you date either a Canadian woman or an Italian woman, on your first date, do you ask her already if you can send her some cash because you want to help her? I think that's crazy. You wouldn't do it, right? So why are you doing this in the Philippines or in Indonesia or Thailand? Why you would do it there? No. Don't do stupid things you wouldn't do in your home country. Don't do them in these Southeast Asian countries. Apply your common sense. You will need it a lot. I'm saying this because too many men, they seem to lose their common sense completely. I don't know why that is. This is a psychological phenomena which is happening to many men in Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, and so on. And another big thing to understand and know is you want to know yourself. With that I mean, because knowing yourself is the foundation of any personal success. If you want to succeed in these Southeast Asian countries, if you want to live the good life, the happy life, if you really want to make it there, you need to know yourself. You need to know your limits, your limitations. Do you know them? What are your weaknesses? Are you a needy guy? You have to check your own psychology. I have done other videos about this, you know. In my opinion and experience, a lot of the trouble men run into is because of their own twisted psychology. They have certain needs, they have a certain backstory. Okay, it's nobody's fault if you are divorced and your ex-wife ripped you off left, right, and center, and this and that, and many other things happened, I know, but it had an effect on you, on your psychology. And maybe therefore now you are a needy guy. Maybe you need a lot of attention, or maybe you have to let it out all of your system again. I don't know. So you have to seriously look into the mirror and find out about your shortcomings, because these will be the traps. They will limit you. These shortcomings, these limitations, these weaknesses, they will limit you also in these countries in Southeast Asia. And it's going to be probably even magnified, because there are different dynamics there in these countries. Keyword here is self-control. Self-control, discipline, structure. Yeah, you need a lot of discipline, self-control, and you need to be a very structured guy also. We talked about being flexible already. Yeah, you need to be very flexible also. It's not only, it's either my way or the highway. It's not going to work in these countries. Yeah, we have to be very flexible. Remember, you're nothing special there. Be patient. I think a lot of emotional labor is really necessary for some guys. Yeah. It's not only about the financial stability. How stable are you emotionally? Big question. You know, that refers to the dating thing, you know. Are you falling for any girl who is just telling you how handsome you are, and you start sending money immediately? Are you that kind of guy? You have to look into these issues. Yeah. I also talked in other videos about it's very, very good to have massive, intense rules. Not only when it comes to dating, but also in regards to your life there, how your entire setup is there, you know, your financial setup, your dating setup, and anything and everything. Massive, intense rules. I've done videos about this. You want to check them out if you want. Because don't forget, especially when it comes to dating, it's a Disneyland East over there. There's so much temptation. There's so many gorgeous, beautiful, sexy, pretty, good women, bad women also, freelancers, hookers. This is just, you haven't seen this before. If you never traveled to these countries, you don't know what I'm talking about. And this is a great trap. It can be a great trap. It's a great temptation also. If you don't have self-control, discipline, and structure, you're gonna end up like many guys there. So you see, it's a personal development journey actually, you know. Traveling to Southeast Asia, to these countries, is actually you kicking it up a notch, another notch, you know. It's really actually a great personal development story and journey, because you also will need to develop street smarts, you know. You need to learn to observe properly, to discern properly, to judge properly. You need to improve your judgmental skills and your decision-making skills. Yeah, this is all what you need to learn. If you are too lazy to do that, if you say no, I don't want to do that, you know, I think I know everything, then we better stay in your home country, you know. And the last thing I want to say is, take it easy, okay? Let things happen. Things will happen anyway in these countries, no matter what area, dating, finances, this and that. Let things just happen. Don't rush it, and also don't push it, okay? Just, you wanted this experience, now experience it, okay? Again, it's not just from like moving from California to Texas or from Texas to Ohio. You're moving to a different planet basically, okay? I hope you know that, I hope you are aware of that, but I can tell you from my own experience, it was the best decision ever that I decided to start to travel as a chef and to visit other countries. And through my Southeast Asian experience, I fell in love with Southeast Asia, with various countries. I fell in love with the beautiful climate, although it's hot, I know, and I'm sweating very quickly. But I prefer this heat over the harsh weather conditions, especially in wintertime in Europe. I love the food, I love the beach, which is behind me, you cannot see it now. I like the lifestyle. I'm so happy here. It was really one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, and you should consider also to make this move. The question is only, are you really ready to do it? I'm not talking about you bought your ticket and you have $5,000 in cash in your bank account. I'm ready to go. That's not what I mean. Are you ready mentally? Are you ready psychologically? Yeah? Is your ego ready for this trip? Because it's going to be challenging. You will be challenged a lot in these countries, you know, by the women, by other folks, maybe financially even, you know, who knows. But at the end of the day, I don't want to say it's a hero's journey, this is a little bit too much, but it is definitely some sort of great journey. And there's nothing better than when you, like this American gentleman, decide at 59 years of age to engage, and I get goosebumps when I'm saying this, at 59 to engage in this kind of, let's call it a hero's journey, right? Because you stop your old life and you start a completely new adventure. This is something great. This is something worth to pursue. Not many people can do that. They are too lazy. They are too scared of doing that. Yeah? But I think bottom line, it's worth it because it will grow you, it will broaden your horizon, it will make you this or the other way a different person, and hopefully, like in many cases I know, it will grow you, it will make you a better person, a more mature person. You will mature a lot if you just want, if you stay positive, if you want to adopt to the culture, if you stay flexible, if you manage your expectations and your ego, if you remain a guest, you know, if you remain this guest mindset, if you are respectful, polite, and if you want to learn about the culture, if you want to integrate also somehow, then that can be one of the greatest, if not the greatest experience you will ever make in your life, you know. And yeah, I wish you good luck, and I hope you will make the right decisions. And I might do talking about relocating to Southeast Asia. I might do in the near future a video about the different visa types for Indonesia. I've done a video already, but I found out some other information which I was not aware of. There is, of course, the option of retiring in Indonesia. There's a retirement visa, but there are also other options besides the regular tourist visa. There are other types of visas which allow you to stay like from 1, 2, and 5 years inside of Indonesia. So that's very interesting. That's actually great news. As I said, I was not aware of this. So this is a great opportunity also to consider. And again, if you are focused only on the Philippines, yeah, if you say no, the Philippines is my thing, I've done my research, I've done my homework, I want to move there, then again, if you need assistance with visa services, with consultations, if you need assistance with dealing with the local Philippine agencies and stuff, then check out Filipino Visa. The link is in the descriptions. These guys are, this is an award-winning company, yeah, and they will help you with all these retiree issues. If you want to retire in the Philippines, you know, flight bookings, hotel bookings, you know, they get you started, and they also provide all sorts of different immigration and consulting services. So check it out if you want. I'm done for today. It's a little bit a longer video again, I know, but consider this a profound topic. It's foundational, you know. I cannot just talk about this in 10 minutes. So this is my take on this whole thing. I'm still living my dream somehow, you know. I'm still in Southeast Asia, and it's getting better by the month, so to speak. You know, I just enjoy my life. And why am I enjoying my life? Of course, this is a result not only of my decisions I made, but also, you know, I had to learn to pull myself together in these countries. And I needed to learn, I needed to adopt, I needed to manage my expectation. I still need to do that. I had to work out a lot of my ego issues, you know, but now things are coming together or have come together, and I can tell you, I'm living my life, and I'm living, I don't know if it's the life, but I really enjoy my life. So with that being said, I'm checking out for today. Really looking forward to your comments, because there are many guys who are living either in Thailand, the Philippines, Indonesia, Vietnam, Malaysia maybe, you know, Cambodia. Share your stories with us. I want to know what made you move. What was the reason that you moved to one of these countries? Tell us your story. These stories are very interesting and very inspiring also. You know, we can learn a lot from these guys. And there are guys who are living already inside these countries for longer than I do. You know, there are guys who live there already for 20, 30, 40 years, you know. I always love these stories, you know, and I'm always happy if I have a comment which is not only 2 or 3 sentences, but sometimes guys are writing really long comments. They share their story, how they all started. So I'm looking forward to read these stories, hopefully in the comment sections. And of course, let us know your advice, your tips, your tricks. What should we or other guys should pay attention to if they consider moving to Southeast Asia? What, in your opinion, is important to consider? Do you agree with me that you have to manage your expectation and your ego? Or do you say, that's all nonsense, just go there and find out for yourself? I want to get your opinion and I want to get your experience also. So I'm gonna see you in one of my next videos as usually. Thanks for watching. Take care. Bye bye.